Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is where you get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news a China-US trade deal might be close. Wall Street rallied earlier this morning on American claims that a trade deal is very close, but the US is only offering to cut some tariffs, it seems, and China doesn't want to put its ag buying promises in the deal document. Wall Street has since lost some steam, however, losing about half the jump in those comments and is up a more modest 0.4% in afternoon trade. But it does seem to be that a deal of some sort could be close. In the US, the growth of household net worth actually fell in the third quarter, down to 3.4% from 4.9% in the June quarter. That was because the value of holdings in equities fell by $300 billion in the quarter. This is a slowing that was more than expected and comes as household debt rose 6.3% in the same period, historically a high increase, in fact the second highest increase in at least the last 10 years. And the number of Americans filing applications for unemployment benefits jumped to more than a 2-year high last week. At the same time, American producer prices rose just 1.3%, also the fastest slowing of producer output prices since the late 2006. In China, steel output is expected to rise to almost 1 billion tonnes in 2020, a rise of more than 6%, driven by its domestic stimulus plans. This has seen the iron ore price turn up recently, and metallurgical coal prices are likely to follow. They need that stimulus. Car makers there said that they expect yet another year of declining sales in 2020. And there are more bond defaults in Chinese companies that earlier binged on debt. Corporate bond defaults are now common. The latest is unique because of the first offshore default by an SOE in more than 20 years. In Australia, rebounding demand for their minerals in China will give their federal budget a boost. And the ECB, in its first meeting under Christine Lagarde, has kept its key policy rate at zero and its deposit rate is minus 0.5%. Lagarde struck an optimistic note about the 2020 prospects for the EU economy. In the UK, voting is underway. Currency markets are nervous, as most pollsters say the result was too close to call, and the UK currency is falling. US Treasury 10-year yield is at 1.88% and up 7 basis points overnight. Gold is now at $1,469 an ounce and down $2 overnight. And US oil prices are up to just over $59 a barrel. The Brent benchmark is back over $64 a barrel. The IEA says that global oil inventories could rise sharply in 2020 despite OPEC output cuts and fast slowing American production growth. And the Kiwi dollar is marginally higher again today at 65.8 US cents. On the cross rates, we're slightly lower at 95.5 Australian cents, and against the euro, we're unchanged at 59.2 euro cents. That puts the trade weighted index firmer at 70.9. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.